Bodies found in Houston's bayous, lives reduced to headlines. Tonight, we tell their stories. Bayou Bodies, the lives behind the headlines. An ISIAH Factor Uncensored special report starts now.
I'm Isiah Carey in downtown Houston, and behind me, Buffalo Bayou. It's part of the Bayou system here in our city, where since 2025, more than 30 people have been found dead. The medical examiner ruled half of those deaths undetermined, and that leaves behind family members and friends who are searching for answers. And so we wanted to explore the deaths on the Bayou. We talked to law enforcement, doctors, and of course, city leaders about what's going on and how are they intervening to get these family answers. We begin with one family, Mildred Amos. She lost her son here on the Bayou.
My son, he was a very, very smart kid, and he was very loving, very good at school. And he came from a home, from a single parent. I was a single parent. And he had two other siblings, two other brothers. So I always had a lot of boys at my house, a lot. So that's kind of the family he came from.
And were you proud of the man that he had become?
Yes, he became a good kid. He had some challenges, got into some things, but he loved God, and he, you know, with three different boys, with three different attitudes, you know.
You had your hands full.
Yes, yes. So sometimes 9 to 12 boys was at my house.
And take us back from the last time you saw your son to the time that you got the news.
The last time I saw him was 2 days after his birthday. His birthday is December the 27th. And it was 2 days after Christmas, and he was happy, and I went by and talked to him, but I told him I was on my way to work, and he said the next day he was going downtown.
We're going to take you live now, where we've just learned another body has been found in Houston's Bayou, the White Oak Drive area, more or less the Heights area here, in the area where 45 and I-10 interchange right here.
But then I got the news. It was my son that stays right next to him said, I haven't seen him in 2 or 3 days. So I was like starting to check around to see, you know, if anybody had heard anything from him.
And that period of time, that's unusual for him to be out of contact with you all.
When they called me, it was like a shock to me, because we had looked for him, but it's not unusual for him to leave a couple of days and come back. So when the medical examiner called me, well, I didn't know it was the medical examiner, and she said that he had been there for a couple of days, and they didn't know who he was. So she said they ran his fingerprints and found out who he was, and that's how they knew to call me.
What was it like to get that call?
It was really devastating, you know. I didn't figure I would be getting a call like that on him, you know, because he seemed happy, and he seemed like things was doing better for him, and to get that call, it's really bothered me, and it's bothered my other son. My other son is really in the hospital now, you know, and my other son, the reason he's not here today with me is because he's taking it real rough.
Are you searching your mind, your soul, figuring out what could have happened? Do you have any idea? Did they tell you anything from the medical examiner's office?
I don't even know why he was downtown. He really don't go downtown. He really stays Acres Home, Studewood. That's usually the areas he be in, so.
How is it, as a mother, just not having any answers and it being such an odd situation?
It's an odd situation, and he's not a person that would just be walking up to people and talking to people like that. You know, he's very protective type person. So it's kind of strange to me, how did he get in the bayou? Why would he be in the bayou? The part that's bothers me is him fighting the water all that time, you know, and no help or what position or what could have happened, you know, that's the part that's really bothering me.
And when you think about your son, what are the good times that you remember about him, the fun things?
It was funny. He always was, he would tell us jokes and have us laughing, and he always was a dresser. He loved to dress, but he was that type of person. So.
And I'm sure you will miss him.
Yes, a lot, a lot.
When we return, we take you back in time to the 1970s, the first controversial death here on the Bayou. Stay with us. Welcome back to this special report where we explore deaths on the Bayou. The latest happening in February 2026. But now we want to take you back. May 1977, where Joe Campos Torres was found dead here on Buffalo Bayou. But his family has answers. There was even a public apology. The cause of his death? Hate, racism.
It is a huge hole in my heart that I live every day, forced to live every day with that pain, with the simple fact the way the things took place back then. Seeing my mother throughout the years in that pain, my sisters, my brothers as well. I mean, we were just all tore up, you know, in the heart.
Now, you guys have had an apology from the Houston Police Department, but does that make the pain any easier? Is it still just as hurtful, and to know that he died as a result of hate back then, simply because of who he was, the color of his skin?
Make things, it kind of just makes things a little more clearer, you know, with the apology from Chief Finner and the HPD. Acknowledging the wrongdoing on behalf of the Houston Police Department, but it does kind of highlight the problem that people of color at that time were facing, and that they continue to face to this day.
And Janie, when you got the apology, you learned of the apology. What did it mean to you, if anything?
Some people say, well, at least they apologize. No, we cannot sugarcoat that incident that happened to my brother. We cannot compare it to an apology, you know, because the pain is always going to still be there. But we got a life sentence of pain. And at the end of the day, there was still no justice done. So in my opinion and how I feel, and I stand very firmly on that, the apology was just, to me, another day.
A male body was recovered from Buffalo Bayou on Jensen Street in Edo.
It's a concern for us because we obviously got to determine how the bodies got there, what was the cause of, was it foul play, was it suicide?
Spotted what appeared to be the body of an adult man in the water.
And now in 2025, 2026, even the years before, Richard, there are more bodies popping up in the bayou. Is that a reminder all the time of what happened to your uncle here?
Yeah, definitely makes me think about my uncle's case, about the cases and people that were discovered in the bayou before and after my uncle's case. It kind of just makes me look at the bigger picture of like what's really going on, and also how do we address that? How does the city address that? What are the steps? What are they doing to address these bodies that are being found?
And Janie, for you, your thoughts about the current wave of remains that they're pulling from the bayou?
And again, I do stand firmly on this. when this bodies, when it started coming up a few years ago, so many in a month, and then again another month, and then slows down, and then another month, and then last year as well. You cannot tell me that they just took it upon themselves and did that. I will never buy it, because this is too many. This is way too many to be a coincidence.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of this special report where we explore deaths on the Bayou.
This program is being brought to you by Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer.
Welcome back. The public, social media, all demanding answers about the deaths here on the Bayou. So we went to those who should have some answers. We're talking about the leader of our city, the mayor, and we talked to the medical experts as well.
Is there a serial situation going on?
Oh, yeah. And did y'all hear about the serial killer that's on the loose in Houston?
Of course, the police are saying that they don't know what happened, pending investigation.
Many people are like, there's a serial killer, and the mayor's not telling us about it, the city is hiding
That's
it.
brought about by one of my critics, politicians, unnecessarily frightening the community. I grew up in Houston. We've had bodies in the bayous my entire life. One is too many. The numbers have increased through our increase in population and size, and also really the increase in the homeless population. Sean Tier, respected district attorney, said he cited 8 cases that he had recently received. 6 of them were homeless. We do investigate this. We talk to the homeless community. We talk to the families. A lot of mental health involved. But let me tell you what we've done to try to rest the community anxiety. HPD has mounted patrol in some of our more dense Bayou communities, Sabine Bridge, Allen's Landing. We've actually put boats along the same Bayou, but there's 2,500 miles of bayous in Houston. I could go ahead and say it also, they're all controlled by the flood control district, but I'm not going to pass the buck. I'm the mayor, I'm the CEO of the city, and if you're concerned and the community's concerned, I'm concerned.
Dr. Sear, we're out by Buffalo Bayou where a lot of bodies have been recovered over the last few years. And people have questions when those bodies are recovered. Some are saying there's a serial killer out there, serial killer. But what keeps people wondering and concerned is that when the forensic experts take a look at the body, examine the body, they always come up with, not always, but many times come up with, there's no cause of death, undetermined. So why would it be so difficult to figure out why someone died in the bayou?
Well, there's a lot of things that happen. First of all, when a body is submerged in water, it doesn't take very long. We're talking hours for changes to begin. Imagine yourself, you've been in your pool for hours in the past. You come out, your fingers are wrinkled, they're soft, they're macerated. That happens very quickly in water. And in the bayou, it's a little more warm. So typically in warm water, that degeneration of the body, that wearing out of the body happens much faster because there's more bacterial growth in warm bodies of water. So what starts to happen is bacteria starts to degrade the tissue. The water starts to infiltrate the tissue, and so it starts to get really soft and macerated. And it doesn't take very long after that, 1 to 3 days, for the gases in the stomach to expand. The bacteria in our stomach start to create more gas. That gas has nowhere to go, so it makes the body bloated. That's typically when the body will surface. It'll float to the surface, but it also distorts the features of the face. There's marine life, in the bayou and bodies of water that can attack the body. It can distort the features. It can nibble away at soft structures that have been softened by the water. So it doesn't take very long for those features to start becoming difficult to interpret. Even tattoos and body marks start to become difficult within the first 3 days. And by day 4, the body starts to really break down. The bacteria continues to degenerate the body, to degrade the body, and then what happens is it starts to literally liquefy. And by the 4th day and on, we start to see the tissue erode away from the body. The skeleton becomes exposed. It can even separate. It's pretty graphic, but
that soon you'll start seeing skeletal remains?
You can, and if there's a rushing body of water, it'll separate the body much faster. And so those are the things that make it very difficult to identify the person's body. And when you're at 4 days and beyond, what you rely on, what the forensic pathologists are going to rely on mostly is the bone. So when the bone is then exposed, how are we going to figure out? Well, DNA from the bone, DNA from the teeth. That's really all you have left. So when someone is missing, the faster the authorities are identified and notified about it, the faster they can get them out of the body of water, the more likely they are to be able to identify that person.
When we come back, we're going to take you on Buffalo Bayou with law enforcement to show you a hidden population you've never seen before. Stay with us. Welcome back. We want to thank you for hanging in there with us as we explore the deaths here on the Bayou in Houston. Now, many people admire, they see the beauty of Buffalo Bayou, but they've never actually been on it. And tonight, the Harris County Precinct 1 Constable's Office takes us for a closer look at a hidden population that many of you have never seen before.
This is probably 10 or 12 feet right here in the middle. When you start seeing all this buildup, this is where they locate a lot of the bodies that are found. In the colder weather, bodies aren't going to just surface. If somebody throws in a body, they're going to sink.
Now, in the areas, that's typically areas like this where they can congregate. They'll get under there.
In the summertime, a body can start floating possibly day and a half because of the heat. There could be a body here underneath the water for several days before it starts building enough gases to pull them up to the top.
So you think there could be like bodies still in here that, you know, remain undiscovered?
Absolutely. Sometimes they get hung up. Sometimes it may take weeks before they could possibly pop up and we locate the body. So some of them could be weather related. I mean, even like here, you can see sleeping bags and, you know, a lot of them are John Does. We don't know who they are. There's no ID on them. Eventually, I think they find out who they are.
And this is like a city within a city, a whole community.
Absolutely, yes.
And you would say dozens of people here.
Oh, in the summertime, hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yes, I mean, like I said.
They live right on here on these banks.
It is. And I mean, there's tents, and we did have a recent storm, and when these storms come through, everything that they've built is gone.
And you wouldn't be surprised if there was a death here, whether it's natural causes, drugs, or something else, that body would fall into the bayou.
That, or, you know, a lot of these people, I mean, are law-abiding citizens. They've fallen on hard times. But some of these people are hardened criminals and could be hiding. They don't want us getting up in their business, and it may be easier for them to roll whoever passed away that night or the morning and put them in the water, and life goes on. We don't know where the body came from, and there's no heat on any of these guys.
You know, being out here 20 years, you still don't lose your sensitivity to what you're seeing, these bodies, your empathy for the folk out here as well.
You know, these bodies are somebody's sons, daughters, fathers, mothers, kids. I mean, they belong to somebody, and, you know, mental health issues underneath these bridges.
Sad situation.
It is.
We want to thank you all for joining us here for this special report where we explore the tragedy that we've seen in the Bayou system in the city of Houston. Hopefully, many of those families impacted will get some type of closure. Now, if you can help out, if you know anything, contact Houston Crime Stoppers or your local law enforcement agency to bring those families closure. From downtown Houston at Buffalo Bayou, Isiah Carey, Fox 26 News.